Daniel here. I've been sitting here looking at Manoa Books website, and down the page a bit, and I'm looking at Wally Must Die, and just thinking it over a bit, and I've got the final story, and I think it's appropriate enough to call it the final chapter as well. Wally Must Die, the final chapter. It's appropriate to call this episode the final chapter. It's just the idea for the final story. Now it's set when Wally's an old man. An old man getting ready to die. He's not really old, frail man. And Pumpernickel's with him, and she's old too, of course. She's going to outlive him, but she's old too, and he's sort of he's in his home with Pumpernickel, and there's probably kids around and grandkids and stuff, and some light reflections and chat over how the power of the corporation has sort of faded away, gradually fading away, and future's looking a bit better. Probably dialogue around that sort of idea a bit. But a lot of just on his life and the day-to-day activities. And there's a nurse, and she's got a little electronic reader, little reader, just has an LSD, a screen on it, a little spoon section or something, which just a little pad which he places on his wrist occasionally, and that gives his readings of all his biochemistry and stuff. Just places on the wrist and gets his readings. And the comments are that about his heart condition, that starting to get frail, and the nurse is telling Pumpernickel and the family any time now. And that's how he goes out. He goes out in his sleep, old man in his sleep, heart caves in and passes. So it's a kind of imagery I want to use a little bit. He's not taking suicide pills; he just dies naturally. But the 5 Seconds of Summer band video, Young Blood, with the Japanese couple, I think, when they're old people, sort of like when they're old people, sort of. They're not taking suicide pills; it's not an issue. But when they're old people, and it's the clothing, I want a little bit Star Trekky, not Star Trek uniform, but a little bit futuristic as well, of course, because it's science fiction set in the future, and yeah, ideas sort of like that, just around his home as he's an old man, his day-to-day activities, a bit of reflection on the corporation, what it was like, hope for future ideas of the young generation coming in and a better world coming up. The nurse monitoring his health, and his passing, and a funeral of Pumpernickel in the end. Something like that. Wally died.